Ladies and gentlemen, there is no greater tragedy than a soul drifting through life without direction, and there is no greater triumph than the man or woman who knows, beyond the shadow of a doubt, why they were born. You were not created to simply exist. You were designed with purpose, specific, undeniable, and waiting for you to uncover it. And the moment you discover that purpose, your life will ignite with a power no obstacle can extinguish. But let me tell you the truth, purpose is not found in comfort, it is not found in routine, it is not something handed to you by chance or discovered by accident. Purpose is claimed by those who search for it with intensity, by those who demand it from life itself. You do not find your purpose by waiting. You earn the right to know it by daring to live deliberately, by observing the quiet whispers of your heart, and by acting on the deep inner pull that stirs your soul when you engage in something meaningful. Ask yourself, what is the one thing you would do if no one paid you to do it? What is the one thing that makes time disappear when you're immersed in it? What is the one thing that makes you feel alive, even if it scares you? The answers to these questions are not random, they are clues. They are threads of truth woven into the fabric of your being. Follow them, understand this. Purpose is not a destination, it is a direction. You do not need the full map before you take the first step. The path will unfold as you walk it, but only if you walk it. The masses wander through life waiting for clarity before they act, but the great ones, those who shape history, they act and allow clarity to catch up. Purpose reveals itself through movement. You must take inventory of your gifts, your passions, and your pain. Yes, your pain, because in that pain lies a powerful key. Many have discovered their purpose not by chasing dreams, but by healing wounds. Wounds they now help others heal. So I ask you, what have you suffered? What have you overcome? And how can your story become the spark that lights the way for someone else? The moment you stop hiding your truth, you step into your power. And the world doesn't need more perfection. It needs your authenticity. It needs you as you were meant to be, but beware. Purpose demands sacrifice. It demands discipline, courage, and the refusal to quit when results do not appear right away. It will test your commitment. It will stretch your limits, and it will force you to choose between who you are and who you were meant to become. And yet, there is no greater fulfillment, no greater joy, no deeper peace than waking up each morning with the fire of intention, knowing you are living your life on purpose. So decide today that you will no longer drift. Decide that your life is too valuable to be lived by default. Decide that you were born for something greater, and that you will not rest until you've found it, embraced it, and lived it, because purpose is not a luxury, it is a responsibility, and when you discover yours, you don't just change your life, you change the world. Let it be known, no man or woman was ever handed their life's purpose while sitting idle. Purpose is not something that appears in a dream, nor is it gifted by luck. It is not stumbled upon like a coin in the street. Purpose is earned, and it is earned by those who are willing to go after it with unwavering determination. The tragedy of modern living is that too many people wait. They wait for a sign, a voice, a moment of sudden clarity. They drift, hoping the tides of life will eventually carry them to something meaningful. But life does not reward the passive. It does not unveil its secrets to the idle observer. Life yields its riches to the seeker, the mover, the one who dares to ask, to knock, to dig deep. You must stop waiting. You must stop hoping that one day you'll wake up and everything will suddenly make sense. Life does not work that way. The truth is simple, yet powerful. You must go after your purpose as though it were a hidden treasure, buried deep within the soil of your own spirit. And only through effort, concentrated, intentional, persistent effort, will you uncover it. It begins with a decision to no longer coast through the days like a leaf carried by the wind, a decision to reject mediocrity. To say to yourself, I was born for something more, and I will not rest until I find it. That kind of mental posture is what separates the masses from the few who truly live. Purpose is not found in the comfort zone. It is not discovered while watching the clock, doing the minimum, or chasing distractions. Purpose is revealed in the pursuit, in the daily discipline of asking yourself hard questions and demanding honest answers. It is found in the pursuit of your highest self. Do not ask for guarantees. Do not beg the world for certainty before you act. You must move first, and in that movement, in the uncertainty, in the resistance, in the action itself, your purpose begins to show its face. You begin to recognize it, not because someone told you what it is, but because you felt it through experience, through trial, through testing. There will be no lightning bolt, no trumpet blast, no applause. There will only be the quiet confirmation in your heart that you are doing what you were created to do, but you must pursue it. Those who rise in life, those who fulfill their destiny, are those who understand this truth. You do not find your calling, you claim it. You claim it through effort. You claim it through persistence. You claim it through bold action in the face of fear. The mind will resist. It will whisper doubts. It will try to convince you to stay comfortable, to settle for what is known. But you must train your mind to serve your spirit, not the other way around. You must become master of your thoughts and commander of your actions. Life responds to boldness. The universe does not open its doors to those who hesitate. It opens for those who knock and knock and knock again, and each time you act with purpose, each time you stretch beyond what you thought was possible, you sharpen your vision and bring yourself closer to your true calling. So, do not ask, "What is my purpose?" Ask instead, "What am I willing to do to discover it?" Then move with faith. Move with urgency, move with conviction. There is something inside you, something the world has not yet seen, something waiting to be awakened. But it will not wake up unless you do. The treasure will not reveal itself unless you pick up the shovel and start digging. Do not wait another day. Do not let another week drift by in confusion or hesitation. Decide now, this very moment, that you will pursue your purpose with the kind of passion that refuses to be ignored, because the man or woman who refuses to wait, who demands more from life, who steps forward when others stand still, that is the one who discovers the reason they were born, and once you know that reason, your life will never be the same again. One of the greatest myths ever told is that clarity must come before action. That somehow you must first possess a crystal, clear vision before you begin. This false belief has imprisoned more dreams, silenced more potential, and buried more ambition than failure ever could. The truth, the raw, undeniable truth, is this: clarity is a reward, not a prerequisite. It is earned in motion, not in stillness. The man who waits for all the answers before he moves will never move. He will sit in endless contemplation, trapped in a cycle of doubt and delay, watching others rise while he remains shackled by uncertainty. But the man who steps forward in faith, even with imperfect knowledge, begins to see as he moves. His path may be foggy at first, but with every step the light grows stronger. Every action sharpens the vision. Life does not reveal its full plan in advance. It is not designed that way. It withholds the treasures of clarity to test your courage. It asks, will you move even when you're unsure? Will you trust that the way will unfold for the one who dares to walk it? You must understand that the mind cannot forecast what the heart has not yet experienced. You cannot think your way into purpose or clarity. You must live your way into it. You must do, try, build, attempt, and yes, sometimes fail. Because it is in the doing that understanding is forged. Think of the man who stands at the base of a mountain, wanting to see the view from the summit. He may stare at it all day. He may analyze the slope, the weather, the terrain. But he will never see what lies at the top until he climbs. Each step gives him a better view. Each elevation grants him a broader perspective. The same is true in life. Purpose, vision, and clarity come to the man who climbs, not the one who waits. You will not figure it all out in your head. You will not gain understanding from idle thought. You will not discover your calling while waiting for the stars to align. No, your purpose is revealed as you act, as you stretch, as you confront the unknown and dare to build something out of nothing. The successful man understands this. He does not wait for perfect timing because he knows that perfect timing is a myth. He knows that waiting is the enemy of progress, so he acts, he learns, he adjusts. And in that process, his clarity becomes stronger than steel. Do not mistake movement for chaos. Purposeful action, even if it appears messy, is infinitely more powerful than perfect hesitation. You may not know exactly what step 10 looks like, but if you know step 1, that is enough. Take it, life rewards the man who moves. You may stumble, you may doubt, but each time you rise again, you carry with you the wisdom of experience. And experience, my friend, is the greatest teacher of all. It will show you things no book can, no mentor can, no plan can. It will refine your vision in the fires of real life. So do not let the fear of not knowing stop you. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can, for the man who begins with what he has is wealthier in potential than the man who waits for what he thinks he needs. Understand this. Your purpose does not sit on a shelf waiting to be discovered. It lies hidden in the field, waiting for you to work the soil. With every seed of effort you plant, with every moment of focused labor, it reveals itself. Slowly, surely, and with increasing clarity. Faith and action are the companions of clarity. You must believe that there is something great inside you, and then you must act in accordance with that belief. You must walk forward even if the path is dim, knowing that the light will grow stronger with each step. You were not born to wander in confusion. You were not meant to stand still in the waiting room of life. You were designed to move, to strive, to create, and through that process, to understand who you truly are and what you were born to do. So take the step, even if you're unsure, even if your voice trembles, even if the road ahead is unclear, because the moment you move, clarity begins to move toward you. Every individual is born with an inner compass, a quiet, powerful voice that speaks not through words but through feelings. That voice is your guide. It speaks through passion, through natural ability, and yes, through pain. These three, your desires, your talents, and your trials, are not random. They are signals, markers. Divine whispers pointing you toward the reason you exist. But most men ignore them. They bury their passion beneath obligations. They downplay their gifts out of fear or false humility, and they run from their pain instead of listening to it. In doing so, they silence the very voice that could lead them to purpose. Let's begin with passion. When you feel a deep, consuming interest in something, when your energy rises and your heart beats faster at the thought of it, that is not an accident. That is your soul stirring. It is life itself telling you, pay attention. This matters. A passion is not a luxury of the idle. It is a clue for the seeker. And if you dismiss it as foolishness or fantasy, you close the door on one of the clearest signs of your true path. The man who lives with passion moves differently. He doesn't need an alarm clock to rise. He doesn't need to be pushed. He is pulled by something greater than ambition, by something more powerful than obligation. He is pulled by purpose. Now, passion alone is not enough. It must be joined by talent. Each person is gifted in some way. Some have the gift of words, others of healing, others of building, leading, solving, or teaching. Your gift is not what you were trained to do. It is what you were born to do. It is that which comes naturally to you, even as it amazes others. It is that thing you do with ease while others struggle. But hear this, a gift not used is a curse disguised. Your gift is not given to you for your sake alone. It is given so you may serve others. And when you combine your gift with your passion, you create a fire so powerful it cannot be hidden. People will feel it, they will be drawn to it, because purpose expressed through gift and passion has the power to awaken others. And then there is pain. Pain is the teacher most avoid. They run from it. Bury it, numb it, pretend it never happened, but pain is a messenger. It speaks with sharp clarity, and when you face it instead of flee, when you look it in the eye and ask, "What were you sent to teach me?" then you begin to extract its wisdom. So many have found their true calling by walking back through the very fire that once consumed them, the addict who now helps others break free, the abused who now speak to the silenced, the broken who now build. Your greatest pain may be the birthplace of your greatest purpose, because pain teaches empathy, it teaches strength, it teaches what books and teachers cannot. You were not meant to suffer in vain. Your wounds carry the medicine someone else needs. But only if you are brave enough to reveal them, only if you are wise enough to learn from them. So I ask you, what excites you? What do you love so much that time disappears while you're doing it? What can you do better than most without even trying? And, most importantly, what have you survived? What nearly destroyed you but didn't? The answers to these questions are not just reflections of your past. They are road signs to your future. You will not find your purpose by imitating others. You will not discover your calling by following the crowd. You must turn inward, examine your passions, embrace your gifts, confront your pain. In that sacred combination lies the blueprint of your life's mission. The tragedy is not in having pain or untapped potential. The tragedy is in ignoring the very signs that were meant to guide you. You were born with a message inside you, and that message is only revealed through the unique fire of your desires, your talents, and your trials. So do not dismiss what excites you, do not diminish what you're good at, and never ever discard what hurt you. Those are the very things that shape the story only you can live, and the purpose only you can fulfill. The world is filled with men pretending to be something they are not, putting on masks, hiding their failures, speaking in borrowed voices, and chasing someone else's idea of success. They believe falsely that if they can appear perfect, they will be accepted. Respected, admired, but let the truth be spoken plainly. Perfection inspires no one. It is your authenticity, your truth, your journey, your real, unfiltered story that holds the power to ignite others. Your story is not a burden, it is a bridge, it is not a weakness, it is your weapon. Every scar, every setback, every dark valley you've walked through was preparing you to speak with authority and to live with purpose. Do not hide the very things that shaped you into who you are. Those experiences are the gold within you. That is your power. There is no glory in pretending. No one is moved by a flawless mask. But show a man your journey. Show him the battles you've fought, the mistakes you've made, the demons you've wrestled with, and he will lean in. Because your story tells him something no success ever could. You can make it too. You see, the world doesn't need more polished illusions. It needs truth, tellers, warriors of the spirit, individuals bold enough to stand tall and say, "This is who I am, this is where I've been, and this is how I rose." And here's the secret that the timid never learn. When you own your story, it no longer owns you. Shame dies when it is spoken, fear fades when it is faced, regret dissolves when it is transformed into purpose. You do not need a perfect past to have a powerful future. What you need is the courage to stop hiding and start building with the materials life has already handed you. There are people right now, people you've never met, who are waiting to hear your voice, your words, your wisdom, and they will not be reached by someone who has never struggled. They will not be moved by someone who appears untouchable. They will be moved by you. Once you're brave enough to speak from where you've truly been, there is no greater strength than a man who walks in his own story without apology. A man who does not need to prove anything because he knows what he's survived. He knows what it took to still be standing. That man cannot be shaken because he has built his life on the firm foundation of truth. The time for hiding is over. The time for pretending has passed. If you want to live a life of meaning, if you want to walk the path of purpose, then you must do it in truth. You must show up as yourself. No mask, no act, no filter, because your story in its raw and real form is your greatest gift to the world. And if you think your story is too broken, too messy, too painful to be of use, let me tell you something with absolute certainty: you are wrong. The very thing you're ashamed of may become the thing that sets someone else free. The experience you try to bury may be the message someone else desperately needs to hear. Your journey matters, not when it's polished, not when it's perfect. It matters now exactly as it is, so write it. Speak it, share it, live it. When you stop waiting to be perfect and start standing in your truth, everything changes. People begin to trust you, not because you have all the answers, but because you're not afraid to admit that you once didn't. You become a lighthouse, not by being flawless, but by being real. This is how influence is born, not through image, but through impact, not through pretending to be invincible, but by showing how you became resilient. Remember this: the world is watching, and while it may admire strength, it connects with honesty. It follows those who have walked through the fire and emerged with a torch in their hand to light the way for others. Your story is not done yet, but everything you've lived through up to this point has prepared you to begin living with power, with purpose, with truth. So stand up, speak up, show up as you really are. And in doing so, you will become the very thing the world needs most. No man can step into his life's purpose without first letting go of what no longer serves him. There is no progress without parting. There is no fulfillment without the fire of sacrifice. If you wish to climb the mountain of destiny, you must be willing to drop the weight of comfort, ease, and everything mediocre that you've grown accustomed to. Purpose is not a path for the weak-willed. It does not belong to those who seek pleasure first or comfort above calling. It belongs to the man who understands this sacred truth: what I want most will cost me what I want now. And that cost is not a curse. It is the cleansing process that prepares you for greatness. You cannot chase every distraction, every cheap thrill, every hollow pleasure, and still expect to find meaning. The man who tries to keep everything loses everything, but the man who is willing to release what is good in order to receive what is great, he is the one who discovers the full measure of his potential. Look around and you'll see the masses clinging to comfort like a raft in a storm. They fear letting go because they've never tasted the power of discipline, the thrill of purpose. They would rather sleep an extra hour than rise early and build something eternal. They would rather be entertained than educated. They would rather fit in than stand out. But you must decide whether you want to be like most men, or whether you will become one of the few who truly live. And make no mistake, sacrifice is not a one-time offering. It is a daily decision. Every morning you must rise and ask, what am I willing to give up today so that I may rise tomorrow? Are you willing to cut ties with toxic habits, with people who drain your energy, with excuses that have kept you in chains? The man of purpose lives by a different code. He understands that sleep is sweet, but legacy is sweeter. He knows that while the crowd is watching others chase dreams, he must be out there chasing his own. He is willing to endure the lonely hours, the silent seasons, the moments of doubt, because he knows what's waiting on the other side. Purpose does not come to the man who wants everything. It comes to the man who wants one thing so deeply that he is willing to give up anything that stands in the way. The price is high, but so is the reward. Do not confuse sacrifice with suffering. There is pain in sacrifice, yes, but it is the pain of growth, not the pain of regret. It is the pain of shedding the old skin, breaking the old chains, and forging a new path. There will be days when no one sees you, when the applause is silent and the progress seems slow. In those days, remember, every seed planted in solitude blooms in its season. Your sacrifice is not in vain. It is building strength. It is sharpening your mind. It is clearing the path for what is to come. You cannot bring your old self into your new future. The man you are becoming requires you to leave behind the man you once were. This is not easy, but it is necessary, and what will you gain in return? You will gain clarity, peace, power, the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are walking your true path. You will gain respect, not from the crowd, but from the man in the mirror. You will gain a life that matters, one that echoes long after you are gone. The world tells you to seek comfort. Your purpose calls you to seek transformation, and transformation always requires sacrifice. So I ask you, what are you willing to let go of? What comfort must you kill so your calling can live? What will you surrender today, so that tomorrow you rise with power and direction? Let no man deceive you. Purpose is not given, it is earned through discipline, earned through decisions, earned through sacrifice. And when you have paid that price, when you have walked through the fire and stayed the course, you will look back and say it was worth it. Because in sacrificing what was small, you stepped into something far greater. Your destiny, ideas, no matter how grand, are powerless without action. Dreams, no matter how vivid, remain illusions until they are brought into the realm of motion. The man who desires a purposeful life must understand that thought alone does not build destiny. It is action, bold, consistent, and aligned, that turns vision into reality. You may spend your days reading, planning, hoping, even praying, but until your feet move in the direction of your purpose, you are standing still. Purpose is not discovered in endless reflection, it is discovered in motion. You must do the thing, you must move the weight, you must build the dream, but not all action leads to progress. There is a kind of frantic motion that exhausts the body but leaves the soul empty. This is not the action of a purposeful man. Purposeful action is aligned. It is rooted in vision. It is powered by clarity. It moves with precision, not panic. To take aligned action is to say yes only to what draws you closer to your highest calling. It is to live by design, not default, to make decisions that honor your future, not just your feelings. It is to become the kind of man who is guided by principle, not pressure. Each day, life presents 1,000 invitations to drift, to get distracted, to delay, but the man who knows his purpose cannot afford to be casual with his choices. He must train himself to ask, with every opportunity, does this align with the man I am becoming? Does this move me closer to my mission, or away from it? This is where many fall. They begin with clarity, but they compromise in execution. They know what they must do, but they delay it until it's convenient. They wait for the mood to strike, for the fear to vanish, for the path to become easy, and while they wait, the opportunity slips away. Do not wait for perfect conditions. They will never come. Do not wait for fear to disappear. It won't. Action is the cure for fear. Motion is the medicine for doubt. The man who takes action in spite of uncertainty builds a muscle the timid never develop. Courage, and let us be clear. Aligned action does not always produce immediate results. Sometimes you will plant and not see fruit for a season, but that is not failure, it is formation. You are being shaped as much as you are building. Purposeful living is not about instant gratification. It is about lasting transformation. Every step you take in the direction of your calling changes you. It strengthens your will, it sharpens your mind, it deepens your character, even when no one applauds, even when no one sees, even when the results seem small. Greatness is built in silence. Purpose is proven in persistence. The man who continues to act, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when it's lonely, that man will rise. Because he understands this truth, small aligned steps taken daily will outperform massive leaps taken rarely. You do not need to know every detail of the path ahead. You only need to take the next step. And then the next, and then the next. Progress is found not in knowing everything, but in moving anyway. You were not made to stay stuck. You were not born to merely exist. There is a fire in you waiting to be ignited by discipline, by movement, by commitment. That fire becomes a force the moment you begin to act on what you know in your heart is right. So rise each day with purpose. Move each hour with intent. Let every decision, every conversation, every commitment reflect the man you are becoming. Let your actions shout what your words only whisper, because at the end of your life it will not be your intentions that matter, it will be your actions. What did you build? Who did you serve? What legacy did you leave behind? The world does not need more men with dreams. It needs more men with direction, more men who move with alignment, more men who choose action over apathy, resolve over reaction, purpose over pleasure. So take the step, make the call, build the vision, speak the truth, start the thing, finish the thing. Let your life be a reflection of the purpose planted within you, and let your actions be the proof.